Zidane Daney, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. I am playing some Minecraft today. I know I'm starting way later than usual, but I am wanting to test out certain. I decided that I want to check out Mounts of Mayhem. I was kind of not certain if I wanted to stream today, to be honest. But we are going to be playing some Mounts of. We're going to be checking out Mounts of Mayhem. Um, in another. So, I am not really certain what's going on. So, I am not seeing anything from other people. Okay, so people are actually talking somewhat about it, but I didn't see anyone actually talking about how the update is how the first snapshot is out. But yes, the first snapshot for Mounts of Mayhem, it's out. Cool. You can get your zombie horse, you can get your Nautilus. And I've already tested out a few things just to like see what's going on. But yeah, zombie Nautilus, the zombie horses, the skeleton horses, everything is in there. I've kind of got this little guy to as a test. And yeah, his health is kind of not great. So there are a few things that that I've noticed immediately, and that is that for one, zombie horses and skeleton horses burn up now. I'm actually going to set it to daytime. Set day. So, as you can see, this guy's not burning up. We'll get to that. But yeah, skeleton horses, which used to be able to be perfectly fine, they now burn up. Which is a bit sad, to be honest. As do zombie horses. If they are out in the daytime, they burn up, which kind of sucks. My guess as to how this is going to function is that you will be able to basically find both of these horses now pretty regularly in at night. I think the skeleton horse will still spawn as the horseman of the apocalypse. Let me see. Sorry, I'm trying to see if anyone else has already done snapshot videos, which is weird that nobody. If nobody has, it's kind of weird that like the two big people who do these things didn't actually talk about it. And part of me is thinking that it might just be that it slipped through the cracks for these people. Because yeah, I don't think Azumavoid or freaking or like anyone else that I follow actually did a discussion on it. I think it just like kind of slipped through the cracks, and people aren't realizing that the snapshot happened, because I think that it probably launched at the same time that the smaller update happened. But yeah, so zombie horses and skeleton horses, they burn up in daylight. Let's grab a few things actually. All right. So, let's grab the Nautiluses. So, I have some swimming around here. So, a few things that are kind of interesting, that I found interesting. One, skeleton horses sink, still. They still sink. But zombie horses no longer do. They float. Which is it kind of makes sense. Because if skeleton horses are going to be still, summonable, blah, 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 they only spawn rarely during those big storms, it would make sense that they would sink down to the bottom of the water, and they're just special like that. Unfortunately, there is currently an issue when it comes to the skeleton horse, and I don't really know why, but skeleton horses can't be mounted. Let me see if I summon a horseman. /summon horse don't know if you can summon the horseman. It's so weird with it's real. It's what's funny about it is that technically it means that it's probably about as easy to get the skeleton horse in creative as it is to get it in survival. But yeah, like for the longest time, neither one of these horses would burn up in daylight, which was extremely helpful because it basically meant that you had an extra horse and then you could ride it up on the land. If you want to protect your zombie horse, and I'm assuming also they've probably added this to the this functionality to the skeleton horse as well, you can just give them armor, and that will prevent them from actually taking damage. As you can see, if I take off the armor, on fire. And I think he's going to die before I can get him to the water, unfortunately. Yep. Oh well. But, yeah. So, yeah. There are some disadvantages with the zombie horse, and I assume that this is also the same with the skeleton horse. If you summon, once they fix the glitch with the skeleton horse, but if you spawn them, it's still basically the same method of taming a horse as it would be for your standard horse. You have to get on them, and all this. You have to struggle through this nonsense. Oh, sweet, he already slowed me. Good. But yeah. So yeah, if you still want to be able to use your, if you want to get your zombie horses, you want to get your skeleton horses, out in the world, just like out in the survival, with your regular world, get some horse armor. Those are the ones that you're gonna want for this. And like I said, zombie horses float, and they basically function exactly like regular horses. I was kind of hoping that they would still function the same way, because just last update, zombie horses, as well as obviously the skeleton horses, would sink. I'm assuming that most likely they're probably going to fix this glitch, this issue, before the next update. But yeah. But yeah, Nautiluses and zombie Nautiluses are in the game, which is fun. You can tame both, which I was not expecting to be able to tame both. Let me see, where is... Yeah, here we go. Oops. Pufferfish. So obviously everyone knew grabbing Pufferfish, giving up to the Nautilus. He loves me. Great. Zombie Nautilus. You can do the same thing. I wasn't expecting you to be able to. Like, at all. But can you... You can't... looks like you cannot breed the Nautiluses? Yeah, looks like you can't breed the two types of Nautilus. If we do this, just for shits and giggles... Okay. Come on. Why are you not... I don't know. Weirdness. They do appear to be attracted to the pufferfish, so that's good. But yeah, I'm not certain exactly what's going on there. But yeah, you can obviously then, once you've tamed them... What is with that glitch? Probably something with my resource packs. But yeah, once you've gotten those, cool. You can then grab yourself a saddle, and they go on every single one. And same like with the freaking Happy Guest, you can use shears to get them off, to get the saddle off, which is fantastic. I'm loving that shears have more uses now, and you can just use them to get your saddles back and whatever. You can also... The other fun thing is that all of the Nautilus armor works on both. So if I grab myself some netherite Nautilus armor, obviously you can right click on your standard Nautilus. We expected this, but you can also do it to the zombie Nautilus, and I think it basically turns them into the same model except for the fact that their heads are different. So, yeah. And this is probably going to be your main way to then use your Nautilus, your zombie Nautilus, in the air. So if you do decide that you want to go up into the air with your zombie Nautilus, in fact, we'll do it quick. If I can get back up. Yeah. So, yeah. When you jump into the air with your zombie Nautilus, he will take damage. So be very aware of that. Your standard Nautilus, it does appear like they can jump out of the water pretty easily, so that's fine. Oops. Let me try that again. Yeah, like I said, up in the air, not an issue with your standard Nautilus. Obviously, though, they will die on land, I believe. We'll just see what exactly happens. I think. In fact, actually, I'm curious. Can we? Yeah, you cannot. You cannot. If you get stuck up on land, your Nautilus will die. In fact, that's an interesting aspect. If we, just for tests, shit. Oops. Okay, so he's up on land. Okay, so you are able to get them back into the water if it's, like, really close. But if you do something stupid... Oh, and I'm up. So... Yeah, okay. Yeah. But yeah, if you do something really stupid, you cannot get them back into the water. I'm not even certain how much of a thing it is to... How much of a struggle it is to get them back into the water. Okay. So, depending on how strong your Nautilus is, I think that it's easier or harder to get them in. But yeah, you gotta be very, very careful when it comes to that, to your Nautiluses. So, I am not certain on exact details when it comes to taming, getting your guys to be properly taken care of. But yeah, but we also have obviously the spear, otherwise known as the lance. So, which I am loving this thing. This is fun. So, oh fuck. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Dang, yeah. So that's just with flight. That's just with creative flight. So that's with the netherite spear, that's 2 hits, I think. Okay. That's so So yeah, skeleton, that's about 2 hits for standard movement speed. Give or take. Like, obviously, it'll vary depending on who you, on what exactly you're doing. But, yeah. Oh my gosh, really? That's not even... Okay. Let's do a quick test on standard sprint. Oh, wow. I don't know how I missed that. Okay. So, I think, based on that, if you keep attacking the same enemy with your spear, it's not doing more damage to them. Oh, no, it is. Just kind of depends on how much. Okay. Interesting. Like, these guys obviously have, like, quite a bit of knockback. But, yeah. And that's just the, so that's the netherite spear. So that's, like, the strongest one. Let's quickly test out the wooden spear. At speed. Okay. So that's... Okay. So it... Creative sprint. That's 2 hits for the weakest spear. Which is a 1-hit KO with the netherite spear. Okay. And then, obviously, if you have other things... Oh! Whoa. Frick. I don't know exactly how well this is going to be. Aiming is going to be a bastard when it comes to these things. Because, obviously, you need to be going at high speed and then holding it down. And as you can see, you can easily miss. And if you're not careful, then obviously, yeah. It does obviously have its jab attack. I saw something basically saying that with the, you are able to, it has like a special ability to dash, but I don't see that happening. So, maybe it's just because I'm in creative. I don't know. Weird. But yeah. In terms of damage, let's actually take a look at this versus the netherite sword, just for... So, 5 attack damage versus 8 attack damage when it comes to like standard weapon, to the standard netherite sword. So it's comparable to the mace when it comes to your netherite one. I don't know. My wonder, though, is like... So, the netherite spear has like has like a really long time frame for how long you can hold it. So there's starting to falter and down. So that's quite a distance. That's about most of my little island here. Then if we go with the gold spear, I would say that's about this. That's a little bit. That's longer, actually. That's actually significantly longer. That makes me wonder about wooden then. How long? We'll just start from here. That's interesting. Okay. So that's the majority of the island. But if we... Okay. Not quite the entire island, but it's about the island. Gold appeared to be longer. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong? Okay, it went... No, it's... Yeah, it's less than the wood for sure. but netherite is significantly less. Like, that's all, like, already gone. And that's, like, I'm not measuring exactly, but, yeah, for the gold, I think it was, like, about, I think you, like, maybe here was when it stopped. Wood went the entire length, pretty much. Netherite is barely barely going that far. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. And I'd like to, if I was able to test this, I probably would, and see exactly how far these go. One thing that I am curious about, though, is whether or not the netherite spear... Let's just find a crafting table really quick. I think I have one down here. So obviously, most netherite tools and weapons and stuff, we cannot just do this. Oh, right, okay. So, yep. Looks like you need a diamond spear. Let's go ahead and grab one. Just for the... Let's make this as an example. So, yep. So there's our diamond spear. Cool. Then we obviously will need the other two things. Where's the upgrade? There's the upgrade. And smithing table. So yeah. Standard netherite shenanigans, it looks like. Bop, bop. Oop. And bop. Yep, there we go. Netherite spear. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't notice that, actually. Let me double check that. So, okay. Yeah. It is slightly darker. So as we can see on the right is the netherite spear. Left is the diamond spear. They are significant. It is significantly lower, or significantly darker. So the netherite isn't just going on your, on the spearhead. It's going on the entire, on the wooden shaft as well. At least to some degree. That is interesting. So yeah, pretty standard stuff in that front. So I guess my question then is, did they increase certain things? Did they make... Are there any other changes that we didn't know about? I don't see any new templates, or any more sherds, I should say. I don't, there would be a new, if there was a new template, it would be here. No new pattern. When it comes to this, to the enchantment books, it's such a pain in the ass to figure out what's going on with these. So what we might do instead is we will grab netherite spear and just grab a frickin' enchanting setup. Oh, that would be in here. Right? Where's the bookshelf? Maybe it's... I don't know. We'll just search book. Where's the frickin' bookshelf? There it is. Okay. So that's pretty standard stuff. Let's grab a different one. Basically, I want to see if there's, like, anything that is, like, very obvious. Lunge! Okay, so there is something. So lunge is something. Oh, that might be the thing that they were talking about. Yeah! Okay, so lunge. So if you put lunge on your spear, you get a little dash, as well as your standard stuff. Okay. Let's find something to kill really quick. We'll just use the skeleton horse as an example. Oh! Okay. So, wait, let me grab a mob for tests. Spider. So if we do this, oh, sorry, bop. Okay. Spider. A zombie? What the frick? Okay, so obviously we have the dash, but I think it also has like extra knockback. I need something stronger. Let's grab a warden really quick. Like, these guys don't have much. They have a lot of knockback resistance, so. Okay, doesn't seem to be too much. Okay. So if we do bop. Okay, so it definitely gets me closer. Okay, we need something that actually can be a good example of knockback. Let's just, I guess we'll just grab a zombie. It's not great, but I think that'll be the best. So, yeah. That's pretty good knockback. Comparatively, that's standard. Is that, or did these things just have... Oh, no, this thing has knockback too. So, I don't know if it's just that happening. Or if it's... Let me grab a knockback 2 book to do this. Or, you know what? Okay, I just misread it. So I think that, I just misread it, which is fine. But the interesting thing is that, yeah. So the lunge doesn't do anything when you're underwater. So that's interesting. Like when you're flying, if you're in creative, it will actually do that. I'm curious then, if we grab an elytra, are they only in, they're probably in tools. Okay, let's grab an elytra. Put that on. So, fly up into the air. Okay, I can say right now, an elytra, if you are wearing an elytra, lunge doesn't do any, it doesn't do shit. Because, yeah, I'm not going faster at all. So, that is something that we can clearly tell. Okay. Alright, let's grab another spear. Yeah, I know you're on fire. That's sharpness. Okay, so that gave me... Okay, so you can put fire aspect on these. That's fun. And obviously lunge. Okay. Let's grab a whole shit ton of attack enchantment books now. We're gonna do this test. We're gonna do the important test to see what enchantments this thing can have. So grab that. Grab. Of course. Yeah, they don't put those in here for some stupid freaking reason. They really should put those in here. So let's see. That's Aqua. Okay, so obviously we know that the okay. That's channeling, density, depth strider, efficiency. We know that those aren't going to work. Oh, wait. Grab a anvil. We're just doing a test to see what can go on here. Alright. So, first things first. Obviously, Bane of Arthropods can work. Curse of Binding can work. Dag Nabbit. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Binding. And while we're at it, let's grab some of the other things, just so we can keep testing this. Okay, so Depth Strider. Where were we? Depth Strider. So there's efficiency, feather falling, fire aspect. Okay. Bop. Bop. Okay, so efficiency works. Oh, so you can put... I guess you can put pretty much anything on here. Okay, that might just be a glitch, then. Because that's a lot of different things. Whether or not it's actually something that we can do... Okay, one sec. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do a test. Okay. So... that might just be a glitch where it's just not fully properly implemented, because I don't... Okay, no, there's... I didn't think that you could actually do that, but apparently you can. Oh, the joys of dealing with frickin' anvils. That might be... it might be a glitch. It might just be something that I just didn't notice. Okay. So we're not going to go into all of those testing yet. Fire aspect, looting, knockback, infinity... impaling. I don't think impaling is new. Okay, they didn't even put it in here. Let me see. What is this thing called? It was lunge. Okay, so it's there, but I don't think they've properly put it into the looting, loyalty. Yeah, luck of the sea. Oh no, they did put. Okay, they did put lunge in here. Okay, I'm curious if like certain things like sweeping edge, and wind burst, if these things go on there, and riptide. Those are the ones I want to check. So let's grab another netherite spear. Let's grab an anvil. We're just testing. All right. Bop, 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 bop. Okay. So this is just for testing. Obviously ripped. If we're in water. Okay, riptide does not seem to work, so that makes sense. Okay. If we... Okay, I didn't see wind burst activate. I don't think that sweeping edge is gonna work. Yeah, I don't think that sweeping edge works, like, at all. That's an important thing to be aware of. Okay. So that makes sense. Alright. So, I guess my question is how common are zombie horsemen? Let's go to a place where we'll know we're seeing new mobs. Okay, I don't see any zombie horsemen yet. I'm not seeing any zombie horsemen. And this is a plains, so it shouldn't be challenging. Yeah, I'm seeing a skeleton jockey first. Okay. Let's try finding a different. Let's see if we go somewhere else and see what. Because this is classified as plains. So if they are able to spawn, then they should spawn pretty easily. Like maybe there's a small chance that it's just gonna only spawn in the different biomes, which I do have some testing. But yeah, I'm not seeing any horsemen. Okay. Yeah, I am not seeing any horsemen. It might just be that they're uncommon. Which, to be fair, it did sound like they would be uncommon. Based on what we saw. Oh, that's a question that we should ask. Does this have... Okay. So it does still have the same rules as your sword, where you can't break blocks in creative. Okay. But yeah, I do not yet see any zombie horsemen. So that could just mean that they're rare. It absolutely could just mean that they're rare. It also could mean that they just don't spawn in this specific in the plains biome, which would suck for people who are doing things like this. Oh, that is... I don't know how well this is going to go for people. Oh, there we go. There's a zombie horseman. Alright, and he did spawn with a spear. I did not mean to hit you. Sorry, horse. Oops. Hit the horse again. Alright. So the question... Yes, you will still need to tame them. After you kill their rider, you will still need to tame the zombie horse. So that might be terrifying to deal with. And granted, this might just be because it might be hard to deal with because of the fact that is he mine now? Yes, he is. Okay. / give. Saddle. Alright. So, if you go hunting for zombie horses, For sure you want to bring one, a saddle, two, probably some food, and three, like food for the horses. What exactly they can eat, I have no idea. Let's just try golden carrots, because that's usually pretty good of an option. Ew, okay. I don't know who this would be. What if we gave it some... I always forget what horses can eat. I think sugar. I think they'll eat sugar. Oh. Okay, I think zombie horses can't be bred. I might be wrong about that, but I don't think that they can. Let me grab some standard horses then, to double check this. Horses. Horse. Here we go. Because I think, right? Yeah. Yeah, they'll eat the thing. Let me just tame these guys really quick. Okay, that's one. I always forget what you can tame what you can... Okay, good. Alright. So then... Oh. No, it's not sugar. What is the freaking thing that you use to breed these, that you use to breed horses? Is it just carrots? No. Maybe, oh, it might just be wheat. It might just be wheat. I might be an idiot. No, not wheat. Alright. Hopefully we're back. I crashed there. Let me double check that we are good. Okay. Yes, we do seem to be good. Okay. Good. Okay. Sorry, we did crash. Okay, I want to double check really quick. Horses. What is the frickin' breeding? Golden apples or golden carrots. Okay. So it should be. Golden carrots. There's that one. Okay. Bop. And bop. Okay, so they properly breed. Okay, that's fine. But when it comes to the zombie horse, you can't even feed them. That's interesting. I don't know if that's a glitch. Nothing is... Oh, wait a minute. That might be it. Let's grab... So something according to the wiki is that we can give them a red mushroom. Okay. Okay, so he eats it. He definitely eats it. But doesn't appear... Okay. Cool. So we've got that now. We understand that now. So that's good. Let's grab Nautiluses, though. I want to do some testing with them. So the standard Nautilus and the zombie Nautilus. And then we'll also just in case, we'll also grab a bucket of pufferfish. See if that does. Alright, first things first. Bucket of pufferfish. Okay, so you can tame them with either version. Cool, so there's that. And then, can you breed them? No. At least not together. Okay, let's grab a new 2 new Nautiluses. Bop, bop, bop. You just do not want to... Okay, good. Are they breeding? Doesn't seem to be breeding. Okay. Huh. So they had the love hearts. We saw that. But for whatever reason, they didn't breed. It might just be that zombie Nautiluses, or standard Nautiluses, just do not properly work. Can I please... Yes. Okay. Or a bucket of fish. So, yeah, it should have worked. Oh, they're getting closer. Okay, so they can be bred. It's just a little bit more complicated. Oh my gosh, the baby Nautilus is tiny. It is so cute. What the fuck? That is a completely different texture. That is adorable. That is just straight up adorable. And then, so what happens? What happens with you? Why are you so adorable? And then you just boom, eventually. That's kind of sad. So, I guess the other question then is, do standard Nautilus, do zombie Nautiluses breed? Because they just showed the love hearts. Okay. So zombie Nautiluses, it doesn't show anything about that, but it's odd to me. The odd thing to me is that you can give them, they will have the love hearts. So maybe that's a glitch, or if it's so hard to tell when it comes to a lot of these things, whether or not something is a glitch or if it's something that is actually intentional. But yeah, where maybe they're not supposed to show hearts. Maybe they're just supposed to be able to be tamed, but then for whatever reason they will show love hearts. Like they're not supposed to be even. I don't know. Hard to say. So, I guess the other question then is, why exactly were some of my zombie Nautiluses burning to death? Are they able to get close to the surface without actually being tamed, or was it just that there was something nearby? Oh, you know what it is? You know what it probably is when it comes to the zombie Nautiluses, is that they do occasionally just go up into the air. So zombie Nautilus is probably you should probably be very careful with where you keep it when you do tame zombie Nautiluses. Probably keep them underwater. Wherever you're going to put them in your base, keep them underwater because otherwise they're going to die. So be aware of that. Because yeah, they appear to just want to go up every now and again. And I think that part of that is because of the fact that they are wanting to get close to the surface so that it's easier for the player to get on them. So that the player doesn't have to waste time going down into the water to find their Nautilus. So that might be something that they have that Nautiluses just have, where they'll probably just stay somewhat close, but they'll also come up to near the surface pretty regularly in order to basically make it so that the player doesn't necessarily have to jump down into the water, swim down to where they are every single time once they've tamed them. Okay. That makes sense. And it's probably more common if they actually have the saddles on. I don't know. Hard to say. To be fair, when it comes to Nautiluses versus like Happy Gas are constantly it's a lot harder to get to a Happy Gas if it's flying away than it is for to get to a Nautilus when it's in water. All right, now we've got to do a test because it's odd, and I want to know. All right, we're gonna grab a Nautilus. This is for testing purposes only. Do not do this if you... This is extremely stupid. All right, let's grab a Nautilus. Let's go in here, and I think it's in combat, isn't it? Let's grab the netherite armor specifically. All right. So there's our Nautilus. Oh, whoops, we forgot to... Sorry, this guy's gonna die. Okay. They do die in lava, even with the Nautilus armor. Okay. Noted. The Nautilus armor will float on lava. Come on. I think. Yeah. Well, it doesn't burn in the lava is the big thing. Whether or not it's floating is another question, but... Usually they float. Netherite stuff floats, so... But I'm not seeing it come up to the surface. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's just being slow. Gotcha. Okay. So, netherite armor does float. It is fireproof. But the Nautilus is not. So why exactly do we have netherite armor? Or netherite Nautilus armor? No idea. Because, yeah... Like, granted, it is, like, more... it is definitely stronger than, like, diamond or whatever, blah, 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 blah. But why give us netherite Nautilus armor? I don't see anything else. Like, part of me was wondering if maybe there was, like, gonna be a specific... Nautilus There might be like maybe eventually they're planning to do a lava nautilus that will just be in the lava, and maybe it will give us like some advantage in the like if you put maybe if you get them in the nether, and I imagine that they'll probably be on the surface. Okay, so there's another zombie. Okay, we're gonna attempt this. Okay, killed it. Good. Did we? Oh no, we just knocked it off. Okay, it did not drop its spear. So I'm not certain exactly what spears the zombie horsemen are using. It's unfortunately very, very dark. But you are able to dismount zombies, which is good. I'm glad that that is actually something that you can do. But yeah, it's just really hard to see. Okay. So yeah, obviously if you're dealing with the zombie nautilus, if you're trying to you can obviously dismount all of the different mobs, depending on how fast you're going. I'm curious, actually. We should see if we can find a spider jockey. Because now that this exists as something that can dismount these guys, I'm curious if it can dismount. Actually, a few things. One, chicken jockeys. That would be interesting, but also spider skeleton jockeys. We probably need to find a different spot. Probably avoid these guys. Of course, now that I need to find a skeleton jockey, I can't find it anywhere. Oh, there's one. That just killed it. I don't know what I was like. I think like I'm not certain if it was the skeleton or if I actually killed the skeleton or if I just killed the spider. Because that would be interesting. Like if you're able to kill, if you're able to dismount the spider, if you're able to dismount the skeleton from the spider, would it then be maybe they would allow you to tame them, tame spiders after that. I kind of doubt it, but it'd be interesting if that was actually the case. I think too many things are spawning down in the underground. That's the problem. So there's probably like a whole bunch of spider jockeys down there. But yeah, I want to test if you can get the skeleton off the spider without actually killing the spider. It's going to be tricky, and it's really tricky even with this. I don't know if you guys can even see what's going on down here. I can barely see down here. We might just give ourselves a night vision. / fact give night vision infinite. There we go. That's better. We'll clear it later, but I want us to see if we can find. Okay, so that did not instantly kill him, which is interesting. I'm seeing skeletons. I'm seeing pretty much everything but spider jockeys. Where the actual frick is a spider jockey? Did you... No. Okay, that's interesting. He dropped a red mushroom. That is leading to me to think that will help. They might actually do that to basically hint that to players that, hey, if you... This is how you tame these guys. Why are you not getting tamed? So, okay. So do all zombies now drop? That is another question that I'm gonna be wanting to answer. Do standard zombies now drop mushrooms? Okay, you just dropped rotten flesh. Just rotten flesh. Still just rotten flesh. You know, probably the best option to test that would be to just spawn a shit ton of these zombies. Oops. Nope. Okay. I'm still not seeing any spider jockeys. I saw one. I think it's so weird to me that I saw one, but I'm just... I saw like a whole bunch when I wasn't looking for them, and then when I am actually looking for them... It's daylight, isn't it? Okay, let's head back down into the cave then. I'm not seeing any frickin' mushrooms dropping from these guys. So, yeah, it might just be like a rare drop from skeleton or zombie jockeys. Zombie horse jockeys. Will occasionally drop red mushrooms. But seriously, why am I not spotting a single skeleton jockey? There we go. There's one. Unfortunately, he died. That's not gonna work. We need a guy to basically... Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I think... It is a specific drop from a specific type of zombie skeleton. Or a specific type of zombie. Where if they are on a zombie horse, they will drop there's a chance that they'll drop a mushroom. probably to help you. Okay. I don't want it to go that fast. But I think that... okay, let's grab a different one. Let's grab a wooden spear. Because these... I don't think that these can ever just one-shot something. We need a skeleton jockey. We need a skeleton jockey. Where are you? So, I think... So, I guess another question that's kind of in my mind. Okay, so there's one. Okay, so yes! That confirmed it. So you can use a spear to knock a skeleton off of its spider. Whether or not you'll actually do so is another question, because there's really no reason to. But it also means that, like, probably every single mob that can ride another mob is probably subject to that. So, let's see here. If we grab... I don't have any villages nearby. I'm not going to test this. But if you get a Ravager jockey, does that mean that you would be able to then use said aspect to be able to tame it properly? I don't know. That's... like, dismounting a frickin', like the horses or the Nautiluses, that makes sense, because you want to get them off of the frickin' horse, or you want to get them off of the Nautilus, without killing them. So that's a reason to use your spears. But if you're not doing that, then it's an interesting idea. I wish I knew how to properly test / weather thunder. We need to find a skeleton horse. Getting this thing to spawn is actually insanely challenging. But it does raise a question on whether or not this will actually work. Okay, you know what? Here. / summon skeleton horse. I don't know if this is gonna work. That's not working. Skeleton horse. Okay, that will work. Okay. And it's the skeleton. Wrap. One. Okay. Slash game. Survival. Why is this not working? Lightning spawns. Supposedly that should work, but I don't know why it's not currently. And I can't, like, ride these things, so it's just... I don't know if it's, like, a glitch currently in the system where, for whatever reason, the skeleton... the horseman thing is just, like, glitched right now, or what. But... it might be because of the fact that there's like that weird, there's like some behavior nonsense going on. Can you frickin' work? Of course not. It'd be nice if these things would actually spawn, but I guess not. Guess they're not gonna. But that's fine. Okay. So they probably need to fix a few glitches, specifically with when it comes to the skeleton jockey. With Mounts of Mayhem, I think the biggest question is what are they going to be doing besides this? At this point in time, it looks like the only thing that they've added with this update, with this snapshot, is that of the things that they confirmed in Minecraft Live. So whether or not they actually do confirm or present the details at a later date, I guess is left for the future. So we'll know before too long, but at this point in time, there is no way to know exactly how they're going to work this thing out. My guess as to what's going to happen when it comes to the skeleton horse specifically is that they are going to probably adjust it so that it, for one, I hope that it's something that is going to be able to spawn more commonly. I do think that they should keep the idea that skeleton horses sink in water. I think that that's just a fun idea. Especially because it basically means that you can use them for a lot of different things. Unfortunately, I can't test to see if these guys can actually be rideable. Let me see here. Skeleton horses. Can be tamed to the same. Let's see. If we do this. Are you now tameable? No. So what the frick is going on here with why I can't ride these guys? Because I want to be able to test that properly. But unfortunately there is... Okay. Whatever they do, they have to fix some things with the skeleton horse. But yeah. So another thing that I've been seeing certain people talking about, and I would like to briefly cover this, is that with the alternate versions of skeletons and zombies. So let's briefly discuss this. So when it comes to zombies, obviously there is the standard zombie, and then there is the where are they freaking? There's the drowned, and there is the husk. If we can find him. Husk. Elder Guardian. Goat. Husk. Here we go. So there's the drowned and there's the husk. Why are you a baby? There we go. So drowned and husk. So obviously, drowned will spawn with the zombie Nautilus. Cool. One of the things that I'm seeing a lot of people talking about is that the husk should spawn with a zombie camel. I would be all for this. Especially, like, personally, it sounds terrifying to use a camel and the frickin', like, yeah. Okay, 1 second. So, like, looking at this, like, this is challenging to be able to do. So yeah, it is possible to do that, but could you imagine them doing that with, like, a husk is just like constantly coming towards you on the frickin' undead camel? Of course, these guys jump slightly, so like that would be insane to deal with. But yeah, a zombie camel for the husk would be just insane, and the same thing could go for like the skeleton horses. Because currently it's, let's see here. So we have the bogged and the stray, which we'll see if we can find a stray. And then obviously there's the wither skeleton as well. So imagining for a moment with me if each of these three also had their own skeleton horses. That would be terrifying to see, like, each of them coming at you with different methods of combat. And maybe they would use spears. I think that the one that would make the most sense to use a spear would be that of the Wither Skeleton. But the other two could just continue to still use bows, and they're just, like, constantly getting around you. Because I don't think that when it comes to spiders, I don't think that they will actually have stray jockeys. Well, they might have stray jockeys. But I don't know if bog jockeys or stray jockeys are a thing. I'm not going to get into all of that. But, like, imagining if they could use all of these different creatures would just be insanity. A freaking zombie camel, and skeleton, a swampy skeleton horse, or a frozen skeleton horse, or in the nether, a withered skeleton horse. Like, that would be insane to get to see exactly how that would play out. Another thing that I'm also noticing is that I am not really seeing that many zombies that are just holding spears. I think that the only way that they are going to be holding spears currently, and while they probably can hold spears, but the majority of the ones that will be holding spears will be those that will be riding their horses. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah. But yeah, when it comes to the Nautiluses, though, that's just, these guys are going to be fun. I do think, like I said, that I could see with the Nautiluses just a few other fun little bits and pieces. I would one thing that I would like, if Nautiluses could spawn in swamps, for an example, imagining Bogged riding those things. Like, I don't think that it would be that much, but yeah, that could be fun. That could be really fun to see. But yeah, I guess the big thing that is, like, kind of on my mind is, should there be more mounts? And what mounts would there be? Could there be something that is elongated for the Enderman? Like an end horse. And maybe those specific things only spawn in, like, the end. That would be insane, and you have to specifically deal with that. Maybe other mobs will ride on hoglins and striders. Speaking of, I don't think, can striders walk on water? No, they die. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. There could be a lot of really interesting mobs. I think the big thing with it being called Mounts of Mayhem that is, like, really on my mind is, like, what are they planning with that? Are they planning to have it be something where there will be more mounts? Will the Strider become something that you'll be able to will you be able to summon more of them? Will there be zombie skeleton? Will there be new types of skeleton and zombie horses? Obviously, this snapshot pretty much only added things that were already that were shown off in the recent Minecraft Live. But when we get whenever we get the next update, will it be something even bigger? Will we be getting husks riding frickin' camels? Will we be getting alternate frickin' I don't think we really need to see any more types of for zombies. That's pretty much it. But will we be seeing the different skeleton variants for skeleton horses? And maybe they will spawn they'll just spawn regularly. Maybe we won't I think, personally, what I would do is that, because it's so rare of a spawn anyways, have the have skeletons just spawn every now and again, same-ish level as zombie horsemen, but they'll just be riding on their skeleton horses, and they'll just be standard ones. But every now and again, when it comes to a thunderstorm, we get the insanely maybe they could be a bit more difficult variant of the way that they currently are with the skeleton horses. Maybe it will. What I would do, what I think could be very fun, is what if each of the different maybe they will spawn 4 horses, and these 4 horses will be that of the different variants. Let me make sure I'm remembering this correctly. Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Okay. Okay. So the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse is. I'm reading this correctly. What are the 4 types? So. So war, famine, death, and I think pestilence is also conquest / pestilence is in there. Is what I'm seeing. Okay, so there's like several different variants. But yeah, each one has like a different connection to the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. There's all sorts of different things with it. Not gonna get too much in depth with that, but my point with it is that each horse could represent a different one of the different the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And maybe like each one has like some different aspect to it. What just for an example, maybe the stray one is like immune to fire damage, and each one has like a different aspect to it. Obviously, the wither skeleton is a wither skeleton, will inflict you with wither. The bogged will shoot poison arrows at you. The stray will shoot slowness arrows at you. But I think like the interesting thing about how it could work is that each of the different horses could have a different aspect to it. And basically they obviously will inflict the different attacks on you. Sure. With maybe we finally give the wither skeleton a bow, and it shoots. But this is the only version that will have it, and because I think is okay. I don't see anything. But one thing that that maybe it could do is it will have a special bow that you can only maybe you can only obtain this bow from wither skeletons, and they will if you fire an arrow with it, it will inflict you with wither effect. I think that could be really cool. When it comes to the bogged, they'll obviously poison you, and when it comes to the stray, they'll slow you down and all that jazz. Or they could even freeze you, which would be interesting to see how that would play out. But they could be a significantly stronger versions of these mobs, fully armored. I think that would be very interesting. Like, not only could the the horsemen be armored, but also so could their horses could also be armored. And I think the interesting thing about it is that with this idea, where the skeleton horsemen are, each one is specifically linked to their specific guy, to as the horseman. Since it's such a rare spawn, anyways, make it a boss fight. Like, that would be interesting if like each one has like a massive health bar. I wouldn't say like put it at the same level as like the warden or but like maybe each one has like a different health bar, and by defeating all four you can get their horses, and maybe like they have like some special loot as well. Would be I don't know, that could be exciting to me. But yeah, each skeleton horse could have like specific armor, and maybe these four horses would actually be like special variants. Like each of their standard horses, so Wither, Bogged, Stray, and Standard, they can be found at night, just in their specific biomes. Obviously, the skeleton horse will just spawn at night, right alongside the zombie horse, but it will be maybe it would be a different weapon. Maybe these skeletons will have like a special weapon or something. I don't know. Maybe they would just have spears. Maybe they, I don't know. Hard to say. But yeah, the skeleton horses will just spawn, and they'll be riding around, and you'll kill them. It'll be a challenge to fight them, but it would be about as much of a challenge as the zombie horsemen. Same thing goes for the bog, but they'll spawn specifically in swamplands, and maybe for those horses, they're able to move faster in water. Like obviously, standard skeleton horses are able to move pretty easily in water at this point in time. Maybe Bogged though are able to move much faster. Maybe they're able to go up on lily pads much easier. Maybe they sink faster so that they can get traction right away, and then boom, off in the distance. The ice ones, like I said, maybe they could just be like immune to fire, or not fire, but specifically to the sun. That could be an interesting aspect to them. I don't know. And like, strays only spawn in like ice plains biomes right now, I think. Well, there's a few other icy biomes, but yeah, they pretty much just spawn there. So I don't know. I think it could be really interesting to see how that would play out. And then in the Nether, very, very rarely, you'll just see a wither skeleton riding around on its wither horse, and maybe that like in Nether fortresses is one of the big places where you can get horse armor. So maybe that is maybe that's why. Maybe they will be riding around on these things. I'm not certain, but I think it could be fun. And then when it comes to, say, other mobs, I could see like some more Nether things. I could see, I don't know. Why are you not just taking me through? Oh, hi. Have I never been to the Nether in this game? Alright, where are we? There's two of these guys. Let me see here. So, another thing that I think could be very fun is maybe wither skeletons could just spawn. Like, currently skeletons will spawn in the in these biomes. In what I don't Soul Sand Valleys, that's what these things are called. But wither skeletons could spawn in here, and maybe they'll be riding on their skeleton horses, on their zombie skeleton horse. Or yeah, and that I don't know. That could be. I think that could be fun to mess around with them and just yeah, you can get your skeleton. Maybe this is a way that you can get skeleton horses. And then when it comes to like hoglins are already riding mounts, or piglins, I should say, they're already riding their mounts. But they could also have like we could finally get the gas to be properly integrated. Where it has the freaking cool aspect to it. I don't know. It's hard for me to like properly articulate exactly what I'm thinking of here. These guys are immune to lava? Oh yeah, they would be, wouldn't they? I probably knew that. I think I knew that, yeah. Can you please just go in the lava? I'd really rather not have to deal with you guys later. But, yeah. But yeah, maybe you could attack. Maybe they'll set up something so that you can actually like properly attach like a do something similar to what the movie has. I think that could be very fun for a lot of people, with like happy gas and normal gas. I don't know. I think the big thing that is on my mind right now is that with the mounts of Mayhem, I feel like they have to do more than just like integrating these two mounts. I feel like they have to be doing something more than that. Whether if they're going to add new mobs, I think that the most that they should be doing when it comes to adding new mobs besides the Nautilus is alternate versions of mobs that already exist. So, like I said, Lava Nautilus, variants for zombie variants, zombie variant for the camel would be fun. The three forms of skeleton horses that we do not have. When it comes to maybe there could be other driders. I don't know. I don't necessarily think that that's necessarily the best idea, but it could be a thing. Gas that will be carrying piglins, and maybe it would just be like maybe that would also be how you get the lava boat, because people do still want, even though the lava boat is technically a thing with the Drider. Imagine for a moment if you could use if you can use the happy gas in the Nether and have it carry a boat. That would be a way that you could actually like properly deal with things. But the problem with it currently is that if you go too low and you end up hitting the lava with that, it's gone. That boat is gone, which also means that every single mob that was in the boat is also gone. So I think that integrating something like that, whether it be a platform or a boat, and maybe its only function isn't even to be a boat, but to be a stand where you can carry mobs. And maybe it could carry one or two large mobs. Like what I would do, because I don't think... Let me grab a hoglin. This is not necessarily the best option for this, but I think that it's a good way to test it. If we grab a boat... I don't think that hoglins can go in boats. At least adults. Can you go in here? I don't think that they can. Here, let's summon a hoglin in here. Okay, yeah. So they can't even go into boats. Zoglins or Hoglins, it looks like. Nope. So yeah, Zoglins and Hoglins, no boats. No boats for them. So what I would do is make a boat. We'll use boats in quotes, and what it can do is its only function is to attach it to a ghast or a happy ghast. Personally, I think that chains would also be something that I would like to see be something that you can actually like attach things to, but we'll deal with that in a sec. So, yeah, let me grab chains for... Let me grab a bunch of chains. Iron chains. Here we go. I don't think... Do chains work with... Okay, they do not. Okay. Is it... Then... Iron nuggets? Is that what I'm thinking? Because I think... Didn't they add, like, a proper way to, get... No. They did not. Okay. I thought that they gave us a proper way to actually get chainmail, but I don't think that they did. Yeah, no. They didn't add chainmail properly, which is kind of sucky. They should add a way to properly craft chainmail. But that's another topic for another day. So let's actually head back down here. Let's also grab some string. All right. So right now, leads are crafted with string in this function. So what I'm suggesting is we take another aspect, and it could either be with nuggets and maybe a freaking whatchamadoodle. Maybe it would be with an ingot. We get one. Let's say, let's give us two options, a few different options for how this could function. One is we do it like this, and that becomes basically a chain that is specifically for capturing hostile mobs, connecting your minecarts, and lastly, being able to connect probably anything, whether it be a happy ghast or a regular ghast, to a new platform that would basically function like to hold. It can hold up to 4 standard mobs or 2 large mobs. And basically that would function to allow people to transport these massive mobs, such as piglins, hoglins, horses, various different things, using a happy ghast in a better way than the current method. So it could either be crafted like that, or like that, and it would basically function just like the standard lead. I'm kind of thinking, and it could, like I said, it could be with nuggets, or it could actually just be with chains. Like, maybe you just have to get chains, and what it basically converts all 5 chains into this new block. I think that would be fun. Because let's see here, how much, or into this new this lead type thing. So yeah, currently you get 1 chain right now for the way that this works. So when it comes to the lead, you get 2, right? So if we do the whole thing with the with this method for the chain, either method, whether it be this or it is just with a iron ingot in the middle, that will give us 2 of these special chains, just like how the lead gives. If we do a it with just chains to make this item, then you have to then it will give you 1 per chain, because it doesn't make sense to do it otherwise. And I think the other possibility for how it could function, another possibility for it, is that it's actually like 4 like that, and then we do 2 iron ingots like that. Either way, for how it could function, so it's at least somewhat close to properly making chains. Technically, this is a little bit better than doing the chain method. So I don't know exactly how they would do that. Obviously, there's a lot of work that would need to be done to properly make it so that it functions. But yeah, so iron chains that and they could also do this with copper. I'm just using iron as the example, because that's how it functions. And basically, what it would do, like I said, is because you can't lead your standard mobs. So if we grab a lead, obviously we can't lead. We can lead piglins. I did not think we could lead hoglins, but you can't lead like other hostile mobs. Okay. Okay, so you can lead hoglins. Cool. I didn't realize that you could do that. I completely forgot that you could do that. But like all other hostile mobs, you can't really lead them. So I think that doing this as a chain, and it could also function for hostile rideable mobs. And that's basically how it works. That would basically be what the iron chain is for. But you could also, like I said, lead to a happy gas. You could put this on to the happy gas, and it would allow you to then carry this equivalent to a boat. And this boat, its only purpose is to carry mobs. Technically, you could stand on it as players can stand on it as well, but comparatively, it's just to transport mobs. You can't. It would just, if it's on the water, it just floats. That's it. And it could function basically like a stepping stone. Maybe you can't even jump. Maybe you can't. Maybe players wouldn't even be able to jump on it. They would just be able to walk on it. It would function. To me, I think that the best way of having it work would basically have it function like how the Happy Gas currently works, where you're able to just stand on it. It would allow you to basically, and maybe it would be made out of netherite or something, and it would float on lava, whether it's broken or not. And basically, it would just function like this. And it would basically be a way where players could place this on lava, stand on it, do their building, and it would basically just function like one of its other functions is to basically be scaffolding, because scaffolding burns in lava. Burns near lava. So, yeah, let me just get over there just for to exemplify this. But yeah, I don't know. The big thing I'm thinking of when it comes to this whole object, with this update, I feel like they've got to do more stuff, and I think that the lava platform, whatever you want to call it, it basically, like I said, it allows you to transport mobs. Like I said, maybe 2 large mobs or 4 small mobs. But yeah, like. But yeah, so that's gonna burn eventually, right? So basically, this whole thing's purpose is to allow the player to use said object to dry, to like build over lava or whatever, and it won't burn. Obviously, the player is probably going to be somewhat smart and properly use a will probably be using a lava of fire resistance potion, but it would allow the player to do certain things that they wouldn't normally be able to do. And that's basically all that I want from this thing. Could it be built out of? Would it be made out of netherite? Maybe. Personally, I think that would be a little bit too expensive. Like maybe I think that there's a possibility that two functionalities with it is maybe there would be two different variants. One would be an iron variant, one would be a netherite variant, and maybe you cannot craft the maybe you can craft the iron variant fairly easily, as well as you can just find that variant just on the surface, whatever. But yeah, I just realized that I didn't test something. Let's get a whole shit ton of these guys really quick. We're gonna test something. Why can I not hit these guys? They are not dropping their Nautilus shells. Yeah, they don't drop Nautilus shells. Okay, do the zombie Nautiluses then. Okay. Let me do a test. They just appear to drop, zombie flesh. Okay, they need to fix that. I'm not, I understand why they may not necessarily want to, but considering how important Nautilus shells are, they should make it so that, I think for sure they need to change that, because if it's just gonna be Nautiluses, if the only way to get them is gonna be to find a specific drowned, which, granted, it looks like they are actually pretty common. They are decently common. So how many Nautilus shells did we get from this? 2? Yeah, that concerns me. I don't know. Well, I guess to a certain degree it makes sense that wouldn't be something that would be possible. Okay. Alright. Well, in that case, that's where I think that's probably a good spot for us to call it anyways. But we've kind of looked into a lot of different things when it came to the Nautiluses and junk like that. And we've talked a lot about mounts and yeah. I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do when it comes to the Nautilus, as well as for other mobs like them in the future. This update could very well be a very big update, and we just don't know yet. There's going to be a lot of testing. There's going to be a lot of details that are going to be needing to see over the next few years, or the next few months. Another thing that I'm also kind of thinking about is when it comes to Nautiluses, are we going to get variants for them? Because Nautiluses don't all look like that. I'm imagining that it's probably good. Yeah. Like, that is a pretty standard version. Like, it's to the point that that's pretty much the only version that people see. But one thing that is, when you look up Nautilus, yeah, that's pretty much all it is. But I'm kind of wondering if there are going to be different shell variants for Nautiluses. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, there's so much that we can talk about probably forever. And we will be discussing more and more of this as time goes on when it comes to the Nautiluses and this update. Obviously, for the next while, we are going to be taking a break from Minecraft to basically just discuss all of the other details. There's other major updates that are happening across the world on various different things. So we'll see what happens with Minecraft and the Nautilus update, or the Mounts of Mayhem. Hopefully, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping for a lot of fun with Mounts of Mayhem. And I will be checking out the updates on my own time, but this is going to be the last of the Minecraft streams that are going to be dealing with this. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Hopefully you're ready for this update to happen. Like I said previously, tomorrow's stream is going to be that of Final Fantasy. We're going to be playing Final Fantasy 14 again, and I'm going to see if maybe we can do some of the Deep Dungeon. But anyways, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed today's live stream. I've been Electro Ninja, and I'll see you guys next time. But on.